What what work do you have getting done right now?
Yeah,
Were
so
you
I
just
might
saying?
be interrupted and I have to cut this short. We'll have to see. Nothing crazy, but I've got an RV that I purchased, smaller one, but I need new tires. So instead of like taking it down to the tire shop and having to deal with all that logistics, I'm like, is there a mobile tire guy that can come here and just like swap out new tires? And I'm like, oh, that's a thing. It's a very small niche thing,
Gotta
but
be.
that's
Yeah.
definitely a thing, especially for like RVs. Uh, and so the guy, yeah, he showed up and he's like, oh, about 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour. I'll get it done. But it's cool because I don't have to back out the trailer, go take it down there, deal with all that logistics, and it's a really competitive price where I'm like, I'm not paying much more than what I would pay at Discount Tires or any of the
Wait,
tire
what
shops.
I didn't know that you were an RV guy.
I bought one earlier this year to get out and about. Maybe go along with Ricardo because he's a big RV guy.
I had no
We've done a lot
idea.
of camping, as a
Yeah, I did know
family.
that.
But yeah, RV is a little bit more convenient, and we've got some other friends that have a motor home that they go out all the time. So we just want to be able to go out a bit more. So
That's sick.
yeah, it's the thing for this year. It was kind of a spur of the moment kind of decision at the beginning of the year.
I
Good
love
price, so
that.
we pulled it off and we did it. Uh, so yeah, pretty cool
Sick.
though. Yeah, but so trying to find these guys was interesting. It kind of goes back to internet marketing. So I'm going to tie this back in. So I was doing a couple searches a couple weeks ago. Just filled out a bunch of random websites, and only one guy got back to me, and we were talking back and forth. Come to find out, it was a directory. It was like a referral service network, and he basically built out a really well done SEO website and all these different landing pages.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but like, I feel like your price is a little high. Let me go look locally. And then to find locally someone that did mobile RV tire replacements, kind of difficult to find. The guy that actually ended up going with had a Google Maps listing and no website. Good reviews, but no website at all. And he seems like he's pretty successful without even having a website, but he has a Google Map results for things. So just really, really fascinating. We're like, even the websites that I did find, like for these local service guys, really crappy. One looked like it was built in the 90s, and I think it was sold at some point, so it was like super outdated. Or you fill out a form and nobody gets back to you. So yeah, it's interesting that you can survive without a website per se, but you still need to play the Google My Business game for local
It's
business
amazing.
owners.
There's businesses out there that are still like that. That's just like incredible. I we have a like a chimney service that like open and close and like clean your chimney. Same deal.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
website at all. They've been in business for like 40 years now, and they got some good reviews on Google. And like my mom's been using them for like years now, so like it was a
yeah.
referral. But like when I went to look them up last year, and then same like this year, like there's no website at all, and been in business for like 40 years. Like obviously doing well and no website whatsoever. And it's cool that like that's still like a thing.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. Like as a homeowner, I mean, it's not even as a homeowner, but you kind of need to have this as a homeowner. You need to acquire good vendors, right? You need to have your like bullpen of contractors that you can call upon, be it a plumber, a tire guy, a drywall guy, a handyman, an AC company. So it's like I've been starting to like catalog all these people, and then like if friends like have anybody, we share back and forth because it's like you never know when you need someone, you know.
Oh, for sure.
It's like we got a guy down the street that'll snake your drains for like $70. Like, oh, cool. It's like, all right, share the wealth because it's hard to find good contractors that do good work because there's so many. Maybe they don't have good online presence, etc. So, yeah, yeah, we'll see. But I just
I
thought it
would
was kind
assume
of interesting.
there's obviously like major overlap there with like marketing agencies and like what we do. I would assume you guys like the majority of your business at this point is like referral based. Wouldn't you say so?
For our business, referral
Yeah.
based.
Like
Mm,
what percentage would you say is like like inbound, like a cold lead versus like just referrals of
dude, we're doing
or
pretty
even
good.
people that you've worked with in the past? I feel like those
Yeah,
are kind of
yeah.
like the same
I'd say
thing.
probably it's like 50-50 right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, Maybe a little bit more inbound, maybe 60-40 to inbound to referral um, as of late. Um, that's just because like our organic rankings have gone really well in the last like 3 to 4 months. Yeah, we actually closed the lead from an organic lead that shot. They found us on Grok AI, and we talked to him last Friday, and we closed the deal on Wednesday. It was like super, and it was super fast, just website design, but like right in our niche, right in our lane, right in our price point. It was like, dude, they're going to be great clients to work with on the dev side of things. Maybe we'll do marketing with them down the road, but it was like, dude, there's nothing better than that. You're like, hallelujah, that's nice.
I have so many thoughts and so many questions here off this topic, but like,
Yeah.
um, I get so like first off, how did you know that they came from Grok? Did they tell you that?
So we always ask, during the calls where I have pretty close ties on the analytics tracking on our side to what is going on. I saw him come in as a direct user, I believe it was, and fill out the form. Or maybe it was a Google search of our name potentially, but it was one of the two. And it kind of surprised me when he said Grok AI. So was it actually Grok? He thinks it was. I think it might be a combination of both, but there was definitely some AI LLM influence on it all. But we always ask.
That's so sick. My other question would be like, obviously like AI and like ranking and LLMs right now is like such a hot topic and geo and everything. Have you guys done anything special that was catered towards AI search, would you say?
No, but I would say the way our pages were built historically falls well into what AI is looking for.
How so?
Uh, So there is a big part of our landing pages for our design services where we have some additional, it's kind of basically bullshit SEO text to kind of fill up the page count. But the way that it's formatted, it's kind of, people call it chunking, but it's like certain sections that address the topic of website building. So like mobile friendliness, speed, video media assets. So I've got like these kind of parts that talk about that in the niche. That's actually gets cited by AI quite a bit that gets pulled in uh, when like someone's searching for and referencing it as like what you should look at when you're looking at a web design company for a different niche itself. But that's all I would rank for organically anyways. I would want that type of
I was
content
going to
out there.
say, wouldn't that tactic or that
Yeah, 100%.
organization be the
There
same?
was no tactic that was specifically like, I'm doing this for AI. No,
It's amazing. Yeah, I
no,
think
it's
that's like
like
really interesting there.
strong on page optimization does the same thing for AI because then they're going to pull
Yeah,
for it, they're going to look at it, etc. And they're designed well pages too, and it's not like just a giant content page full of content. So, um, yeah, it's been good. We did some internal linking stuff too that help organic rankings up higher. And I was just talking with another SEO buddy of mine where like, dude, tracking rankings organically right now is really difficult. Any of the third party tools that scrape ranking data, it's very difficult to get an accurate rating because even Google Search Console, it's difficult because you look at your average rating. That includes AI overviews. So, if you have like, if you're in like position 1 through 10, you don't know if that's an AI overview that you got listed in, or is that truly an organic listing? You don't know. Just same thing like in paid. You don't know when you bid, was that an ad within the AI? You don't know. Same thing on the organic side of your average ranking itself. And so it's kind of a goal now is Screw trying to rank, 1 through 3 in your average ranking score. Just get in the top 10. Get in the top 10 score in Google Search Console, and you're part of the conversation. And it works out fantastic as far as like you don't generate as much like organic click-through traffic, if you're higher up, but you're still part of the conversation where you're driving demand of someone searching your brand or finding it and coming back to you via LLMs or direct traffic. So it's a little bit of a tweak on how we gauge or track organic success. And that's something that we're slowly, rolling out with clients and having those conversations. It's just becoming more difficult to know truly where you rank organically.
love to hear that. That's really cool context and background there. Because I think that's been a theme of the pod of like a lot of fluff in the whole geo AI search space and everything. And it's just one of those topics where you're in a group setting and everybody's just like, yeah, like we could do all this cool AI search stuff and we could test all this stuff and we're going to do all this stuff and it's going to be built for LLMs and it's going to be great and everything. And then you have a one-off conversation, you're like, dude, it's just SEO. It's like it's the same stuff. It truly is the same stuff. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what I have noticed too with other clients is that in the last couple of months, um, and specifically ChatGPT, and I think I got to find the resource for this one. I'm not just talking out of my ass, but I believe in the last month or two, the amount of actual hyperlinks within a ChatGPT experience is less as far as getting click traffic, as far as click. So I've actually seen less referral traffic coming from LLMs, but it's not due to low visibility in the LLM. It's due to them removing links in the LLMs. And so it kind of looks like a plateau. Like it's kind of spiked and then it starts to plateau. It's like this is the only traffic we're getting. Like I haven't necessarily seen increases up and above for it all. So that's kind of the other thing is like with the LLMs and ChatGPT, you're kind of at the mercy of how they design and share links. It's like, as far as click through rate is concerned. So that is just something else that's at play.
I like that you said that because I just saw a couple days ago Will Reynolds, friend of the pod, underseer, made a post about this, and it was basically around LLM visibility and how like that's like a big new hot topic in SEO, of just like, hey, like we're getting your brand visibility in AI, you're getting rankings. He made the same point. He's like, with updates in models and updates in, all these different players, sometimes they add more links and sometimes they remove links. So he's like, you could have a client where you might not have done anything and then they just like added links to their results and like you automatically got that client like more visibility, but you didn't make any major changes or updates,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
vice versa. Maybe you made some really good updates to content and internal linking and whatever, like made improvements on the site. Maybe they just like remove links and you got less visibility. Is that like a good or a bad thing? Like, so I don't know.
I
I
just
think
don't know how
that
you
the
make sense out of those visibility trackers that are out there
exactly.
because it's changing so often. So it's like, how are you going to look at something 6 months ago? Did our visibility increase because the LLMs have changed, etc.? The way it's like, it's so difficult to have like consistency across the board towards like, it's kind of interesting. Like, oh, you show up for this when someone's searching for this. When you do a manual search for it and you're testing and you're probing it, but you don't know the demand behind it. So it's really difficult to, I think I would have a very difficult conversation if I sold it. How do I show that as a report on an ongoing basis? Is my point. I think that becomes a challenge.
It seems like just client communication is like the biggest, most important thing there. And like that human connection that we've talked about countless times on the pod now at this point is just like keeping your clients up to date with like, hey, this stuff's changing. This is kind of what we're seeing, and like keeping them informed. Because I think if you don't, then you could have some like awkward conversations around data of like, hey, like we saw less visibility, or we saw less volume, or like whatever. But if you're keeping them in the loop on a like weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, like whatever, not even just necessarily like a call, but like just general communication to your client, like keeping it in the loop, I feel like that's the most important thing there.
Yeah, that gives me the hope around AI and stuff. Like we are a service-based client, and I just think there's so many intangibles that AI is just not going to replace that kind of human connection and experience that's needed
No doubt
to
about it.
deal with humans.
I've seen now multiple people make this claim, and I think who knows how it pans out and everything. And a couple different like VC people made the claim of basically like the next $1 billion company or $1 trillion company or whatever. Essentially, like successful companies of the future are going to be service based businesses. Like that, you like it's not necessarily going to be, and I'm sure there's going to be products, etc. But I think if you're like building a product right now, it's kind of tough to defend it, because like Claude could just like replicate it, or
Especially if it's
OpenAI.
software.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like software is really tough right now, and but like the service base, like that's hard to replicate. You know what I mean? Like to have the human interaction, have somebody actually like dissect this data or information or their experiences, them using those tools, whatever. Like the service side is really valuable. It's just really fascinating to see how like all this stuff is panned out, because I feel like we kind of started this podcast around the time that AI came out and was like,
Yeah.
is search and
I'm very worried
organic
about
all
it.
going to go to
Yeah.
shit? And like, are we kind of like in a really tough spot in agencies, or everybody going to take everything in house? And like now seeing this pan out, it's really cool.
So I think the AI is going to be a challenge. So like, I'll give you one case example. Like, unless AI is connected completely through the whole sales process and marketing process, um, only then do we have a chance of being fully replaced. An example is we launched a PMAX campaign for lead gen, D2C, B2B. It's kind of a blend of the two. And overnight, we started getting spam fills coming in.
Who
Who what?
like who was the like for C42 the PMAX campaign you guys ran?
Yeah, it was for a client. And it wasn't
Oh
for
oh
us.
oh,
Yeah,
gotcha,
it
gotcha,
was for a
gotcha.
client. It was like
One
a
of your
test
clients, yeah,
campaign. Let's go ahead and try
yeah,
it. And we have HubSpot connected. And so we can actually check if these are good leads or not. But in Google, it's like, hey man, we're doing form, and it was legitimate form fills in the eyes of Google coming through. These aren't PDF downloads; there's form fills that are coming through. They were coming through. completely attributed from PMAX coming through. What was weird is we were getting strange referral traffic leads as well, but it was from like Google syndication, which is part of the PMAX network, but it wasn't tagged UTM correctly. And an increase of spam of direct leads as well. And I'm like, okay, if I didn't have the HubSpot side of things to tell me, dude, these leads that are coming in are spam, I need to shut this off. Google would just put all of our budget into that and we would be flooded with spam leads, right? We've had that happen with other clients and situations, but I'm just using PMAX to harp on it because it's always fun to do so. But we literally turned it off and all those leads, spam leads, go away overnight.
I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen that.
But that's the thing. Like we as humans have to connect two different data points to say, okay, this is an issue. Until AI is completely looking at both of those tools or services to make that connection and optimizations, that's only when we will be replaced because
Yeah,
they would have to
yeah.
make the decision. Oh, these are bad leads seeing on another platform. The client is because like if you just think of all the different inputs, client is emailing us saying leads are bad right now. We look at the data in HubSpot. We confirm that it is bad. We go back to see it in the Google side. Okay, it shows a false positive. We are the connection of all that. Unless an AI system is connected fully and understands the context, only then will they be able to say, oh, I need to turn this off. You tell me how that's going to happen.
That's way more complicated in practice there.
Like,
Yeah.
how does that actually happen? The only way I can look at it is maybe you build your own internal AI system that's trained on all these different systems, but it's run like locally, maybe, and it's monitoring these things because it's been trained to look at it, but to actually then toggle budgets and all that stuff, bro,
That's such a complex system.
we're years out before that's going to happen.
No doubt about it.
Because in that situation, if AI didn't have that full context, like I said, they would have dumped thousands of dollars into this campaign and it would have been bad.
Without question.
And so we need to have like human intervention. So we still have a role.
Yeah,
We're still here. We're still doing stuff.
no doubt about it. That's like,
Oh
yeah, that
no,
you
I
got to
gotta
run.
go. Yeah. Okay, that was exactly 17-minute pod. Unless you want to pause, I don't know how long I'll be.
Yeah, I think that was plenty. I think humans are still valuable is
All
the
right,
through line here, and
gotta go.
AI search. All right, Steve, I'll catch you later.